First of all, wishing you a very happy new year 2023. In this EasyRepro Automation Framework series, I will discuss about how to get started with EasyRepro Automation Framework, and finally I will discuss about how to automate the Dynamics 365 CRM application. So before we get into this first session of EasyRepro Automation Framework, so I will discuss few basic things about the EasyRepro Automation Framework, which is developed and maintained and managed by the Microsoft team. So purpose of using this EasyRepro Automation Framework is to automate the Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM application, that mainly into the automation side of UI flows and as well as the APIs. So that is the purpose of using this EasyRepro Automation Framework. And second thing is which programming language it supports. So EasyRepro Framework supports for only C#.NET. And third thing about the EasyRepro Framework is what are the tools required to set up and execute the Microsoft Dynamics 365 automation script. So first one is .NET framework is required on the system, and second thing is you should have the Visual Studio IDE. And as usual, so it is developed, this particular framework is developed on top of the Selenium WebDriver. So no need to worry about the code. Whole code is available in the Google, and also it is available in the GitHub. So you can go to the Google and you can search for the EasyRepro GitHub. So you will get the GitHub repository. That is this is the official website, official GitHub page, where you can get the whole code of the EasyRepro Automation Framework. So this is an open source framework which is maintained and managed by the Microsoft team. So directly you can clone it from here. So that's the one thing. So there are few things which is not working. That means you might be facing an issue with the driver launching, or the browser launching. So if you are finding those kind of issues, you can go to my GitHub repository, that is https://github.com, then 1/ and followed by that buckup. If you type this one in this URL, so I will come to the overview tab and go to here. You can go to the repository section, that's the repositories tab, and you can go to the EasyRepro Automation Framework. So very recently I have cloned this same GitHub repository, then I have modified it with respect to the browsers. I have fixed a couple of issues and now it is working fine. So better you can go ahead and clone it from this particular GitHub repository, that is github.com 1/ buckup and followed by EasyRepro Automation Framework. So you can get whole code from this particular URL. So no need to worry about the code. Just you can focus on, just you can follow me like what I'm explaining, and so if you want you can make the note of that. So let us get started. So what I will do, firstly I will clone this particular repository. So you can click on this code and get the URL of this, and in your system Git must be installed to clone this particular repository. And once you have this particular command executed, so very recently I have cloned this particular repository in my local system, so you can type git and clone and followed by the URL. And after cloning this particular repository, come to the folder. So this is how it looks like. So after opening the folder EasyRepro Automation Framework, so here you will see the UI automation.sln, that means UI automation solution. You can double click on this particular UI automation.sln, then solution will be opened in this IDE, that is a Visual Studio IDE. So if you look at in the right side, that's the Solution Explorer section. You will see the total 4 projects and 1 solution. That means under one solution there are 4 projects. So here solution name is UI automation. Under that we have one project, that is a Microsoft Dynamics 365.UI automation.api, and second one is Microsoft.Dynamics 365 UI automation.api.uci, and similarly we have browser project and sample project, guys. So that's it. So this is how you can clone the whole EasyRepro automation framework repository in your local machine. So it is very easy. You can either go to the google.com and search for EasyRepro GitHub. Then you will see here very first link under after github.com. So you'll find the Microsoft, and after that EasyRepro. So this is the official GitHub repository from the Microsoft. And so I have fixed couple of issues and which is available in my GitHub repository, guys. So directly you can clone it, this particular repository, which will work fine without prompting you any errors. And if you are trying with this particular repository, you will be having a couple of issues which you have to fix it with respect to the browser. So that's it, all about the EasyRepro automation framework, about how to get the whole project in your local machine, right? So let us go to our Visual Studio now. So under sample project, that is Microsoft.Dynamics 365.UI automation.sample, open this particular project. So here, as of now, so as it is a very first session on EasyRepro automation framework, just explore this particular project. That's a sample project. Under this, you can go to the app.config. So in this session, we will mainly discuss about how to run the script. And after that, we will discuss how to execute your script in the different browser and how to handle all the elements which is there in the Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM applications. So you can go to the app.config file, and here you can specify the username, and second one is password, and third one is URL of the Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM application. So after specifying username, password and URL, you can specify the browser type, which type of browser you want to execute this particular script. So no need to worry about the script as of now, just focus on how to execute your script on the browser as of now. So in my case, as I said earlier, so I have fixed a couple of things with respect to the browsers. So as of now, I'm executing my script on Edge browser, right? So that's the reason here I have specified the Edge. And if you want to execute your script on Chrome browser, you can specify it as a Chrome browser. So that's it. So simply close this one, and in this same project, Microsoft.Dynamics 365 UI automation.sample project, go to the UCI folder. So all the scripts are created by the Microsoft team. So these are by default, you will get all the folders. Whichever you want for the reference purpose, you can keep it, otherwise you can delete it. So in this session, as I'll be showing you how to execute a script. So I will go to one of the folder here. So create account. So this is a simple script which will open the browser and it will enter the URL, whatever the URL we have specified in app.config file, and simply enter the username and password. It will select the sales model, then it will create one account. So as of now, no need to worry about this code. I will explain line by line in the upcoming sessions. So simply right click on this method and say run test. If you look at here, so it has launched the browser, then it has entered your username and password. So these are the different models in the Microsoft D365 CRM. So right now we are dealing with the sales model. So here it will go to this particular account section and it will create a basic account which will add a mandatory fields data, then it will save the record. So now it will click on new button, then it will enter all the required data, then it will simply save the record. But if you look at this particular framework, right guys, so it is a very stable framework. So if it is taking a little bit of time because of the sync issues, or maybe the application is slow, or whatever, the application response is slow, server is slow, so based on that it will take some time, but it's having very uh, dynamically actually it will fetch the object whenever it's available, right guys. So I'll go to the test explorer and simply I'll check here. So if you look at here, this particular test got passed. So this is how you can get started with the EasyRepro automation framework. So in the upcoming session, I will cover how to write your XPath and how to deal with the different objects which is available in the Dynamics 365 CRM applications. And also finally, I will discuss how to deal with the multi-factor authentication. And also I'll discuss what are the changes I have made with respect to the browsers as well. So that's all I have in this session. Stay tuned for the next tutorial. If you like this video, please click on the like button and also subscribe to this particular channel so that you will get the latest updates on the software testing. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Yeah, hi friends, this is Bakappa. In the last session of EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial, we have discussed three important things. First one is I have discussed briefly about the EasyRepro Automation Framework, and the second thing I have discussed is how to get the working GitHub repository of EasyRepro Automation Framework. And finally, the third thing I have discussed is how to execute the first EasyRepro Automation Framework script. In this today's session, I will discuss a couple of things. The first one is when you are executing your script from the CI/CD pipeline, so which file you need to refer. And second thing I'll discuss about is about the MFA secret key. And third thing I'll discuss about how to select the different Dynamics 365 applications, CRM applications. And finally, I'll discuss about how to handle the text box. So we will take the simple example of one of the text box and where you will enter the data, and finally you will save the record. So overall, you will be learning how to create the record of any entity. So let us move on to the first topic for the today. So let me go to our framework now. So I'll close all this stuff. So first topic for the today is when you are executing your script from the CI/CD pipeline. So you need to update all the details. For example, username, password, CRM URL, and browser, and also you need to specify the MFS secret key also. Under the Microsoft.Dynamics 365.UI automation.sample project, so there is a folder called Azure DevOps. So under this, you need to go to the EasyRepro.run settings file, and it come down. And here you can mention your all the details. Whatever the details we have mentioned in the app.config file, so all the details can be mentioned here, so that your pipeline will be picked for the script execution. And now I will move on to the MFS secret key, guys. So you can go to the google.com, then you can search for the EasyRepro GitHub. So you can go to this official GitHub repository of the Microsoft. So here you will see the github.com, then followed by Microsoft and EasyRepro. Click on this first link. If you come down, so you will find the MFA support. So this is very important, guys. When your user is enabled with the MFA, that is a multi-factor authentication. So you need to follow this all the steps, guys, from the step 1 to the step 12. So finally you will get the one secret key, so that can be used in the this particular attribute. So that's a MFA secret key. So let me tell you where you have to specify the this particular secret key. Once you got the secret key, after following all these 12 steps, you will get the secret key. You need to go to the app.config file under the sample project. So if you come down here, so after mentioning all these details, username, password, and CRM URL, and at the end you will see the MFA secret key. So you need to specify the value for that, whatever the key you got. So when you are actually working or testing the any Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM application, obviously your account will be enabled with the MFA, that's a multi-factor authentication. So there is a mobile app called Authenticator. So every time when you log in into your application with the username and password, it will generate the OTP. So that will be sent to the Authenticator app, that is a mobile app. So same code has to be entered in the application, guys. So that is a manual process. To avoid that, so as we are performing automation testing, so no, there is you should not manually disturb the application, right? So when the script is getting executed, so every time you can't enter the OTP in the application while script is getting executed. So that's the reason, to avoid that situation, you need to specify this particular MFA secret key, guys. So it is very simple steps mentioned here. So just you need to follow these steps and it will generate one secret key for the MFA. So you can use that key in the app.config file. So that's it about the MFA. And let's move on to the how to handle the CRM applications. Let's go to the browser now. I have already logged in, guys. So by providing username and password now. So in our script, when we executed last time creating an account, so it was clicking on this particular module, that is a module or the service you would say sales hub. When I go, if I go to my script, that is create account under the UCI and create, under this you will see the create account.cs file. So here, so we have executed this particular script. So what it does, it logs in into the application by using the URL, username, password, and MFA. So these details will be fetched from your config file, guys, as just now I have discussed, right? In the app config file, we will be providing all the details. So after providing all these details, so application got logged in. Then, so there is an command called xrm app.navigation and open app. So if I go to this sales, here you are seeing the visible text, that's the sales hub. That means currently it is clicking on the sales hub. So in our case, what we will do is we will click on this particular service, that is a model, different model. So in your case, there might be different applications or the CRM application. If you wanted to click on that, so you need to specify the visible text, that's the link text. So in our case, we will click on the customer service hub. So that's it, guys. So I'll copy this link text so that after logging in into the CRM application, it will select the CRM service hub. Simply I'll paste it as of now. So already here it is already provided. You can directly use this particular string so that this will be fetched from your project and directly it will click on that particular CRM application. So just for the demo purpose, I am modifying to the same thing for the sales. You can modify this variable name, and this variable name can be provided in this particular script, line number 29. Okay, guys. So in the first line number 27, it will log in into the CRM application, and in the second line, that's the line number 29, it will click on any of the CRM application. And the third line, simply it goes to the accounts entity. So that means here you are seeing the accounts entity. It will click on this accounts entity, and after that, it is going to click on the new. That means the command bar. So click is a method. So whatever the link text or a visible text you provide here, so it will simply click on that particular button. So in our case, so simply it is clicking on this particular new button. If you want to click on this delete, so simply you mention here the delete, pass the value as a delete, so it will click on the delete button. And similarly, if you want to refresh this page, you can pass the refresh as a text in the this particular command, that is xrm app.command bar.click command. And at the end, so this is one of the text box, that is our name. That means we are entering the, after clicking on this new button, so simply we are providing some random name here and we are clicking on the save button. So if you go to this script, so here we are entering some random string, then we are saving the record, right guys? So what we will do now, so we have modified this different CRM application. After logging in into the CRM app, we have provided the different CRM application name, so that it will click on that particular application. Then so as usual, let it click on the accounts tab. After that it will click on the new, then it is setting some value and it is saving the record. So that's it guys. So what we will do, so far we have made one changes, that is selecting the different CRM application. So in your case, if it's a different name, you can directly go ahead and create the variable and pass that variable over here. That's it. So we will do another change here guys. The change is, we will enter something in this particular text box, that is a phone text box. So let us analyze the XPath which is written for this particular text box, that is the account name. So you need to remember one class name called app element reference. So this particular class exists under the Microsoft.Dynamics 365.UIautomation.API.UCI. Under this project, we have a class called app-element-reference.cs. If you open this particular class, based on the functionality, they have created a couple of classes. So this is nothing but nested classes. We have the app reference as a one class. Under that, we have the application class, navigation class. So based on the functionality, they have created the objects. So if I come down, all these are the objects based on the functionality, multi-select, global search. So like this, here also they have created another class, dialogues. Under that also they have mentioned different classes based on the functionality. So this is nothing but our nested class they have used. And then if you come down here, so there you see the XPath. So XPath for the each element. So Microsoft team has written the generic XPath, so that can be used across the CRM applications. So let us analyze the XPath which is written for the entering the data in this account name field. So I will go to this particular class, that's a create account, and now I will go to the set value. So this is where we are entering the data in the account name field. So I'll go to this set value. So if you see here, so entity type they have mentioned, form context type is entity type, and based on this only, so execution will be driving. So I'll go to this set value method now. So here, so we have the field and we have the value, what value we have to enter and where we have to enter, and here form context, that is nothing but the entity. In the entity we are entering the value in this particular field. So from in this particular method we will get to know, if I go to this validate form context, simply it is returning as the web element, right? So as the form context type is entity type, so here you can see quick create, entity, and business process flow, enter, XYZ. So ours is a form context type is entity type, right? So if I go down here, finally it will return the web element type. So if I go right side, so here you will see this is the web element there. So they are referring this particular web element, so that is nothing but the string. After that they are replacing this particular, under the square bracket they have mentioned it as a name. So this particular thing is replaced by field value. That means if I go to the create account, so this particular value is replaced for the square bracket name. So let us go to this text field container. So this is the object. I'll copy this object name and I'll search for this object. So let me copy this whole XPath. So this is generically written for the handling the text box in the CRM application. So I'll go to the web page now. So let us try to identify the account name field. Then finally we will identify the phone text field. So I will right click on this and I'll do inspect. Here I'll say I'll specify here the name. So in this particular string we are replacing name in the square bracket with the just name. So why we are entering the name, right? So I hope you got it. So just let me recopy that the string. What is the string we are using? So if you see the script guys in this particular class, so in the web client.cs, so simply they are replacing this with the whatever the field value. In our case, field value is, we go to the create accounts. So here you are seeing the field name. This is a field, so you need to enter this particular string. So let us go to the again application now. Here I'll say find. So let us remove this backward slash. Specify, and that's it. So here I'll replace this particular name with the just name. So I have not copied the full X path. Let me copy once again. In the app element reference.cs. So I need to copy this whole X path, guys. So just copy the whole X path. After copying it, simply paste it here. We'll replace this particular name with the name, whatever the value we have. Sorry, field name we have. Right? It is highlighting the account name field, guys. If you look at this one, it is highlighting the account name field, whole field name, and as well as the text box. So after identifying this web element, right? So if I go back in this particular example, in this particular text box, whatever we are trying to achieve, I'll go back here, and finally it is returning as a web element type. Then let's go once again. So here it will returns the finally the web element. So again here we are trying to identify whether this has an input tag. If yes, then only it will come here, and if this particular web element is having the input tag, and it will simply execute set input value method, where you are passing the driver object and input as an element and value, what value you want to enter. Then it simply clears that whatever the text, and it will click on that and simply presses the some of the keys, that is a control A and then backspace, then finally it will enter the value. So this is all about the text box, how it is exactly identifying the element and entering the value in the text box. So similarly, we will identify the phone text box, and we will enter some numeric value in this particular text box. So let us inspect this particular text box now. So if I go up, okay guys, so this is a div tag. Under div tag, so what they are doing is, so they are using they have written the XPath in such a way that, so they are using the ID. So if this particular ID has whatever the some partial value, then you perform the action on that particular element. So Microsoft team has written a XPath in such a way that generically this particular text box can be identified. So in our case, when we have the ID, this particular div tag is having the ID, and followed by, at the end you will see that till this is random numbers, and after that there is a field name. So it has a field name called telephone, and followed by the field section item container. Here you can see that field section item container. So only every time in the every text box, this particular value is getting changed, guys. So in this case it is a telephone 1. So simply we will pass it that value. it is identifying that particular text box, right? So that's the reason what we will do. Simply we'll pass this telephone one in the set value. Go to the create accounts. So I'll copy this particular line because as we are performing action on the text box. So here what I will do, I will paste that telephone one. I'll copy that value telephone one and I will paste it here. Then after that simply I will enter some numeric values in that phone text box. That's it guys. So we have modified our script with respect to the first one is we are selecting the different CRM application. Then after that it is going to the account section and it is going to click on new. Then it is entering some value in the account name. Then after that we are entering some value in the phone text box. Then we are finally saving the record. That's it. Let's execute this script. Let me go to the test explorer. Now you can see here. So our Edge browser got launched now. Now it has entered the username and password. So in my case, guys, I have not enabled MFA secret key. So if MFA got enabled for my user account, so every time I need to enter the OTP, which I got in the authenticate app. If you look at here, right, guys, now it has to click on this customer service hub. So after selecting that one, so in the home screen, you will be able to see that customer service hub here. So now customer service hub got displayed and also it has refreshed the page. Now it is clicked on the accounts entity. Now it will click on the new button. So EasyRepro automation framework is very dynamic, guys. So it will identify the element properly and it will perform the action without failing the script because of the sync issues. Now it is entered something on the account name. Then if you can see in the phone also it has entered the some value whatever we have provided in the script. And finally it has saved the script, guys. So that's all I have in this session. Let me summarize what we have discussed in the today's EasyRepro automation framework tutorial. The first one is what is a file? You need to update it when you are executing it, when you are executing your script from the CI/CD pipeline. That's in the Azure DevOps folder. You need to modify the EasyRepro.run settings file. And second thing I have discussed is about the MFA secret key. So how to generate the MFA secret key, where to specify that MFA secret key. And third thing I have discussed is how to select the different CRM application. And fourth thing I have discussed is how to handle the text box and how to get this, especially the field and how to specify, how to get the field name, then specify the value. And after that we are saving the record. So that's all I have in this session. In the upcoming session, I'll discuss about how to handle the lookups, drop downs, and how to deal with the selecting the different forms. And also I'll discuss about how to perform the data-driven testing, how to assign the priority for your test case, and how to group your test cases. So many more things I'll discuss in the upcoming tutorial of EasyRepro automation framework. If you have any queries, you can comment in the comment section, guys. If you like this video, you can click on the like and also subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Hey, hi friends, this is Bakappa. In this EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial, I will discuss about how to handle lookup field, and second topic is how to work with the tabs, and third topic is how to select the value from the drop down list. So let us move on to the application. So this is our application, CRM application, that is a Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM application. I logged in already, and I have selected the customer service hub. So here I'll go to this accounts tab, then I will click on new, and firstly we will discuss about how to work with the lookup fields. Then we will discuss how to switch between these tabs. Then finally we will discuss about how to handle the drop down values. So let us move on to the very first topic, that is how to handle lookup field. So in the summary tab we have multiple fields. So here we are having account name, text box, and we have another text box of phone number. So there are many other fields as well. If I go down, so there are two fields. First one is primary contact and the second one is parent account. So if I click on this one, so it's a lookup field, guys. So if I start entering something, so it will start prompting me the list of values. From list of values, I have to select one of the value. So what we have to do is we have to write the code like similar to the text box. So in the case of handling text box, we have identified this particular phone number field and we have entered the value. So in the similar way, we have to start entering the value in this particular field, that's a primary contact. Let's say Alex. Then it is giving me the list of values. After entering the value, so we have to enter the Alex Baker as a value. After that, we have to select from the drop down. We have to select the value from the list, right? So this is the action we have to perform. So what we will do, let's go to our Visual Studio now, and I will create the copy of create account class. I'll rename this class with the EasyRepro tutorial. So similarly, I'll come to inside the class. I'll open the same class again. I will rename this class name as EasyRepro tutorial. So that's it. So we have already discussed how to log in into the application, then how to select the particular CRM application, then how to go to the different entities. So right now we are going to the accounts entity, then we are clicking on the new. So till this code is same, so almost we can use this whole code, right? So these are the two things we have discussed in the last tutorial of EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial. Sorry. So we have discussed how to handle the text box. So similarly, what we will do. So firstly, we have to enter the value in this particular text box, then we have to select it. So I'll copy the same code again, and I will. So first we have to identify the field for this text box, that is a primary contact. I will right click on this one. I'll go to the inspect. So as of now, I will remove this one and I'll inspect this particular text box firstly. Okay guys, so this is a field, so it is highlighting the whole primary contact and as well as the text box. So what we have to mention, we have to mention just this particular value, that is a primary contact ID. So I'll copy this one, I'll paste it here. So we have identified this particular text box and we have to specify the value. So in our case, what I'm specifying is Alex Baker. That's it. So after identifying the field, so we are entering this value. So next thing is, after entering the value, we have to select the value from the list. So EasyRepro Automation Framework gives itself an option to select the value from the list. So you can achieve by calling to the method called open record. So XRM app dot, there is an object of lookup, then I'm calling to the one method called open record. So this will accept the index. So you need to pass the index. For example, in my case, I'm specifying it as a 0 because I wanted to select the very first element from this particular list. If I type just AL, it is returning me the 3 values. If I wanted to select this value, so you can specify the 0. If you want to select this particular value, you can specify it as a 1. But in my case, I'm just entering whole value, then it is displaying only one record. So to select this particular record, I'm specifying it as a 0, right? So this is how you can handle your any of the lookup field. So now let us move on to the next scenario, that is how to handle the tabs. I mean how to switch between the tabs. So EasyRepro Automation Framework gives an opportunity to use the existing methods itself. So what you need to do, call to this, use the XRM object, XRM app object dot. Here you can say entity. After entity, you can say just select tab. So this particular select tab is accepting the string type of value, right? So select this particular method and specify the value. So in our case, so by default, when I navigate to accounts entity, so it is displaying the values inside the summary tab. So if I need to switch to this particular details tab, so you need to specify the visible text here. So I wanted to switch to the details tab, right? So I will simply specify this particular value inside the select tab method. So that's it. So this is how you can move between the different tabs, right? So that's it, guys. So we have the third scenario for handling the drop down list. So after coming into the details tab, so here we are having different drop down list. So in our case, what we will do, in the ownership field, we are having multiple values. That means the ownership drop down has multiple values. So we have to identify this particular drop down, and after that we have to select the one of the value from this list. So what we will do, so already we have used the set value method. So this particular set value method, it is a overloaded method, guys. If I select this particular method set value xrm app dot entity dot set value, and here you can see that +7 overloads. That means it's a overloaded method. It is capable of receiving any type of value. So it can be string, or it can be the date value, or it can be the option set object. So in our case, whenever we are dealing with the drop down list, so we have to create the object of option set. We have to pass to the set value method. So here I'm using xrm object dot entity. Then here I'm saying set value again. So inside the set value, you need to pass the object of option set. So this option set contains two fields. One is name and second one is value. So name is nothing but the field, and value is nothing but which value you wanted to select from the drop down. So first you need to specify the name. That means you need to identify the drop down field. So let's say, so we'll add the value later. So now next is value. So we have to pass the which value you wanted to select from the drop down list. So this is the object we have to pass to the set value if you want to select the any value from the drop down list. So let us identify the drop down field. So similarly, how we have identified a text box, similarly we have to identify the ownership field. So right click on this object. Let me inspect ownership. I'll go up. So if you see here, so it is highlighting the whole field, including the ownership field name and as well as the drop down. So what you need to do is simply you need to take the value, that is the ownership code, copy this particular value, come to here and pass on to the name. And you might be having a question of how we have to pass the value. It is very easy. So go to the drop down. Now you inspect the drop down list. So it has a select tag. Come inside the select tag. So here you are seeing the multiple option as a tag names, right? Every value is having the one option tag. So inside the option tag, we are having a ID attribute and value attribute. So in our case, we wanted to select public as a value. And if you go inside, if you see the inside this option tag, so you need to refer to the value attribute and you need to pass this whatever the value is there inside the value attribute. So if I have to select the public value from the drop down, you need to pass the 1. And similarly, if you want to select the private, you need to pass the value as 2 and so on. So let us select the public. So we have to pass the 1 as the value. Let us go to the framework now. Here pass the value as 1. That's it, guys. So we have seen how to handle lookup field, and then how to switch between the different tabs, and finally I have discussed how to handle the drop-down values. So in the Selenium, so in the Java or in different languages, we will be using thread.sleep for sleep for waiting for some time, right? So similarly, in EasyRepro automation framework also supports for thread.sleep in a different way. So you need to specify the think time. So this will accept the value in the format of milliseconds. So let us say 4000. 4000 milliseconds is equal to 4, right? So why I'm specifying this particular think time is, so after executing all this, it will wait for some time so that we can see the execution properly. So that's it, guys. So we are done with creating the simple test script which will interact with the text box, lookup field, and different tabs, selecting the different tabs, and how to handle the drop-down values. So let us execute this script now. Right click on this particular script. So let me rename this particular script name also. I will say EasyRepro test. So that's it. Let me build this solution as well, because we have also. So now you can execute this particular script. So now it will click on customer service hub. And here you can see that customer service hub is displayed. Now it has to click on the accounts. After that, it has to click on the new button. Okay, it has clicked on the new, then it is entering the account name and phone number. And if you see here, it has entered the value in the lookup field and it will select that particular value. Then contact name is populated and it is switched to the details tab, and also it is selected the ownership as a public. So we have kept some think time, so it will wait for some time. and it will exit the browser. So that's it guys. So it's very simple. So that's all I have in this session. If you have any queries, you can comment in the comment section. Please click on like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for many more tutorials on EasyRepro Automation Framework series. Hey, hi friends, this is Bakappa. In this EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial series, I will discuss about how to handle the date field. Then I will discuss about how to group your test scripts. Finally, I will talk about how to assign the priority for the test scripts. So let us move on to our CRM application. We will discuss the scenario, then we will start automating that particular scenario in the Visual Studio. So after logging into the application, CRM application, we'll go to the contacts, then we'll click on new. And after that, we will move on to the details tab. Then here you are seeing the birthday. So we will select the sum value, that means the sum date from this pop-up. So let us do that. So I will go to the Visual Studio now. I will open the EasyRepro tutorial class and I will simply copy the first method which we have implemented in previous classes. That's it guys. I will rename this test method name as EasyRepro test 2. Then I will remove some of the code here which is related to the text box lookup, then drop down. That's it. Okay. So we have logged in into the application and we have selected the CRM application. Then we have to click on the contacts. Then we are clicking on the new. Then we are switching into the details. After switching into the details, so we have to identify this birthday field. Then after that, we have to pass the value, which value we wanted to send it to this particular text box. Let us inspect this object. Let's go up. So if you see here, if I hover my mouse on the div tag, which has the ID and followed by some number, and here you are seeing the birth date and followed by some generic value. So you need to copy this particular birth date and even which is highlighting the whole birthday as a field, including the attribute and as well as the text box. So you need to copy this birth date and simply you need to pass on to the one object called new datetime control. So you can pass this field name to this particular class, that is a datetime control. So we have identified the object now. Then now we have to set the, so for setting the value, so here I'm using value is equal to datetime. Now, so this will return me the today's date. So if I wanted to select, if I wanted to select the 1000 days back date, so simply I will call to the one method called add days. If I specify the positive number, it will add the current day and plus whatever the days I have specified. And if I specify it in negative, so it will select the negative days. That means the negative value. That means if I specify 1000, it will select the date 1000 days back date. Right. So finally, I will assign this object to the birth date variable. So we have the field is ready. That means we have identified the object and we are passing the values, right? So now, as I told before, xrm.entity.setValue. This particular method is an overloaded method. So it is capable of accepting different types of values. So now we will pass this particular object, that's a datetime control object, to the set value. So that's it guys. So our script is ready. So let me summarize again. Once again, we have logged in into the application and we are selecting the CRM application. Then we are clicking on the contacts and then new button. Then we are switching on to the different tab. Then we are identifying the birthday or birth date. In the UI, you are seeing the birthday. So we are identifying that particular element. Then we are passing this particular value to this field, that is a birth date. So that's it, guys. Let's execute this script now. It is very easy, guys. So EasyRepro automation framework made a life easier for whoever testing the Dynamics 365 CRM application. So it has a lot of reusable methods and dynamically interactable when object is available. So it has a very good features. So no need to waste much time on implementing the methods or reusable methods. All the methods are available in the EasyRepro automation framework. If you see here, so it has clicked on the contacts, right? Then now it will click on the new button. Now it has clicked on the new button, then it will navigate to the details tab, right? It has entered some value in the birthday. If you see here, it has entered 9/4/2020, guys. So that's it, guys. So it has executed successfully. And if you go to the test explorer also, you can see that this got passed or test got passed. So this is how you can handle the text date fields especially. So now I will discuss about how to assign the category. That means how to group your test cases. So what you need to do is after test method, so it is also attribute, you need to specify it as a test category. That means you can group your test cases. For example, this particular test case belong to the smoke testing. So you can specify the group name for this particular test. So like this, you can specify the multiple groups as well. So you can go to the test explorer, and here also that particular group will be listed here. You can directly trigger that particular group for the execution. So let us rebuild this solution now. Build this particular solution, and if it is not working, directly you can rebuild the solution. So if you see here, so this is one of the group what we have created, and that particular test is listed under the smoke testing. So similarly, you can assign the multiple group names. For example, I can mention it as a tester stock as a group name. I'll go to the test explorer, then I will build the solution. You see here, my group name is displayed, that is a tester stock. Again, this EasyRepro test2 belongs to this particular group also. So whenever there is a need or a demand, you can directly go ahead and trigger that particular suit for the execution, guys. So that's how it makes the life easier. So multiple group names also you can give to any of the test script. So this is how you can manage your test cases into the different groups, and while executing it will be easier. So let us discuss one more attribute called priority. You can assign the priority for your test cases. So priority always starts with the 0, and you can specify 1, 2, so however you want. So that's it. You can go to the test explorer. So based on the priority also, you can see the grouping here. That means here we have selected, we have grouped it. So based on the priority number also, you can see your test cases in this test explorer. If I rebuild this solution, let me clean it once and rebuild the solution. That's it, guys. So here you can see, right, priority 0, there is a one test case, right? That EasyRepro test 2 is belong to the even test 0. So you can divide your test cases based on the need. You can go ahead and execute your test scripts, guys. So that's all I have in this session. So we have covered how to deal with the date fields and how to assign the category for the test cases. Finally, we have discussed how to assign the priority for the test cases. So if you have any questions, you can comment in the comment section and click on like button if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Hey, hi friends, this is Bakappa. In this EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial series, I will discuss how to create the record and how to search that particular record. Let us move on to our CRM application now. We'll discuss the UI scenario, then we will start automating that scenario by using the EasyRepro Automation Framework. So after logging into the application, we will go to the account section. That means accounts entity. Then we will click on new. Then here we will enter some entry details like this, and we will click on save button. So after saving the record, so we can't directly search here, right? So again we have to go back to the accounts entity. Then here we can search by using the account name, whatever we have provided while creating a record. So now I will go to the Visual Studio. We will automate this flow. So simply I'll copy and paste this EasyRepro test 2. So line number 81 is for login. So we will rename this method as EasyRepro test 3. So line number 81 is for login. Then it clicks on the CRM application. Then it is going to the contacts. So let us write the proper entity name, that is accounts, where we have to navigate. Then we are clicking on new. Then we'll delete this particular line. We don't need this. That's it, guys. Now, so once we click on the new, so we are having the account name field. So simply we will copy this particular line and I'll paste it here. So that is, we have identified the account name field and we are entering this random string. So I will cut this one. So I will write one variable here, that's account name. That's it. I will pass this variable name here. So why I'm defining this, why I am storing this particular random string in the account name variable is we can use this particular account name while searching the record, right? So that's it. So this one will, after entering the account name, we'll save the record. So here I'm calling to the method called save. Then after saving the record, again we have to go back to the accounts entity. Then I will copy this same line, line number 83. After going to the accounts, so here we have to search for the record by using the account name, right? So what I will do, I'll go to the UI. So once I go back here, right, accounts entity. So here we have to search by using the account name, whatever we have used while creating a record, right? So what I will do. So in the EasyRepro framework, we have an option called XRM app dot. You need to call to the method called grid. So under the grid, so there is a method called search. So under the search, you need to specify the criteria. So in our case, we have to simply pass the account name. So after searching, so we'll wait for some time, then we'll exit from the script. So here I will use XRM app dot think time. I'll provide something around 3000 seconds. That means, oh, sorry, milliseconds. That means 3 seconds. So this set of code will create the record, and after creating a record, we are going back to the accounts entity. Then we are searching the record and we are waiting for some time. Then we are closing the browser automatically, right? So let us execute this script now. So now the script execution started. Now it is selecting the CRM application. So it has refreshed the whole page. Now it will click on accounts entity. So if you look at on the left side under the customers, so it is highlighted with the blue color accounts entity. So now it will click on new button. So EasyRepro Framework has a generic XPath. So it has to navigate to most of the elements which is displayed in the entity. So now it has clicked on the new, then it is entering the account name. After that, it is going to save the record. That's it, done. So now it has to go back to the accounts entity. Then it will search with the account name. So that's all, guys. So this is how you can create your record and search for the record, and later you can edit it and again you can save it. So if you have any issues, you can comment in the comment section. So stay tuned for the next tutorial on EasyRepro Automation Framework. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Hey, hi friends, this is Bakappa. In the last tutorial of EasyRepro Automation Framework, I have discussed about how to create the record and how to search the record. The first topic for the today's tutorial is how to handle the views, and second topic is we will discuss how to delete the record. So I'll move on to the CRM application now. So we will open this CRM application, then we will log in into this application. So we are going to click on this accounts entity. Then, so views are nothing but you can, based on the need, you can select the views. So currently it is selected my active accounts as a view. So if I click on this one, there are multiple views displayed here. So in our case, what we will do, we will log in into the application and we will go to this accounts entity. Then from this list, we will select one of the view. So by default view is my active accounts. So if you look at here, it's the default view selected when application logged in. So what we will do in our case, so we will select the active accounts. So after selecting the active accounts, list of active accounts will be displayed. So this is our scenario. Now I will move on to the Visual Studio. We will automate this particular scenario now. So I will open the same class, that is EasyRepro tutorial class. So I'll go down. I will copy the previous test method, that is EasyRepro test 3. I'll paste it. I will rename this particular test method name as EasyRepro test 4, and then I will remove this particular group, that is a smoke testing. So now I'm assigning this EasyRepro test 4 to the only tester stock group. So after that, so already we have the code. This will log in into the application and it will go to the accounts entity. Then before clicking on the new, so we have to select the view, right? So I will comment this section, so we will use it in the later point in the same session. So I'll comment this section. So once we go into the accounts entity, so we have to select the view. So for that reason, you need to use the one command called XRM. You need to use the object of XRM app. Sorry. XRM app dot, you can segregate and followed by switch to view. So here you need to pass the view name so that it will go to that particular view and it will select the given view. So in our case, we are going to select the active accounts. So that's it, guys. So after that, after selecting the view, we will wait for some time. So I will use the XRM app dot think time. I will specify it as 3000 seconds. Test script now. So it is very simple scenario, guys. It is only one command, so which will select you the mentioned view in your Dynamics 365 CRM application. Now it will click on Customer Service Hub. So now it has clicked on the accounts, then it is selecting the active accounts, then it will wait for some time and it will close the browser. If you look at this test explorer also, under the test stock, you are seeing EasyRepro test as EasyRepro test 4 as passed. So it is working fine. So we are done with the first test. Now we will go to the test again. So second topic for the today's session is how to delete the record. So what we will do, so again I will go to our CRM application now. So we'll go to this accounts entity, then we will click on this new, and after that we will enter this account number, and after saving this record again we'll go back to the same accounts and we will search for the whatever the account we have created, and once the account got displayed, so we will select this particular record and we will delete it like this. And after clicking on delete, so you will get the pop-up, and here you need to confirm whether you wanted to delete this particular record or you want to cancel it. So let us automate this particular scenario. We will delete the record. So I will go back again to the IDE now. So I will comment out this particular line, selecting the view. So I will say select view. So that's it. So we have already code which will log in into the application and it will select the accounts entity. Then after selecting the accounts entity, we have to click on the new button. So for that reason, I will uncomment this line again. So this particular command, that is xrm app dot command bar dot click command. So this will click on the new button. Then so we have identified this particular object, that is a account name, and here we are entering some random string. So that is the account name. So if you see here, so this particular method will generate us the random string and we are assigning back to the account name. And this account name is getting passed on to the name field, that is our account name field. Then we are saving the record. That's it. Again, we are going back to the same entity, that is accounts. Then we are searching for the account name. By using the account name, whatever we have created, we have generated the account name. By using that, we are searching it. Till this we have already discussed in the last session, right? So which will create the record and it will search for the same record. So after searching the record, what we have to do? So record will be displayed like this. So after entering the record name here, that means the account name, and record will be displayed like this here. So we have to select this particular record. For selecting this particular checkbox, you need to use the command called xrm object dot grid dot open. So this will accept the index, guys. So if in your case multiple records are displayed, you need to pass the proper index here. So in our case, as we are searching with the account name, only one record will be displayed. So that's the reason I will pass the 0 as a 0 as the index. So that's it. This will select that particular checkbox. After that, once I select the checkbox, we have to click on the this delete button. It is very similar to the new button or edit button, whatever. So in the earlier, whenever we firstly visited to this accounts, so we have clicked on this new button. So delete also displayed like in the same line. That means the command bar itself. So that's the reason we can use the same command whatever we have used to click on the new, and simply we can pass the different text that is called delete here. So I will pass the delete here. So that's it. So after passing the delete, so we have selected the record and we have clicked on the this delete, and we are getting one pop-up. So here we have to accept or we have to decline. So in our case, we are going to click on this delete button. So for this reason, you need to use the command called XRM app dot. So you need to call to the method called dialogs dot confirmation. So in this confirmation dialog, so it is accepting you the boolean value type, right? So here, if you look at here, clicks OK or cancel on the confirmation dialog. True is equal to OK, false is equal to cancel. So we have to click on the delete. So that's the reason we have to pass the true for that this particular method. So if you pass the false, that means it will click on the cancel button. So that's it. Then we will wait for some time after clicking on the delete button. So here I'll put 7000 millisecond. That means 7 seconds it will wait after clicking on this particular delete button in the pop-up. So that's it, guys. Let me summarize again what we have did. We have logged in into the application. We have navigated to the accounts entity, and after that we have clicked on the new. Then we are passing some data in the accounts name field. Then after saving the record, again we are going back to the same entity, that is the accounts entity. Then we are searching by using the account name. Once the record is displayed, we are selecting that particular record, and then we are clicking on that particular delete button, and then we are finally confirming the pop-up displayed for the deletion, right? So that's it. Let's execute this script now. Now we have logged in into the application. Then here we have to select the required CRM application. Now home page is displayed. So now it will click on the entity, that is accounts entity. So if you look at on the left side, it is clicked on the accounts entity. So firstly we are going to create the record. So now it will click on the new. So it will take few seconds because it is having a generic XPath. Then it has to navigate through each of the elements and it has to identify the proper element. So now it has clicked on the new button. Then it is going to enter the account name. Then it will save the record. After saving the record, again it is coming back to the accounts entity. Then now it is searching with the account name which we have created. Now it has to select this particular record. Then it has to click on the delete. So it will take few seconds because it has a lot of elements identified, might be because we have a generic XPath in place. So we have selected the record by clicking on the checkbox of the record. So it has clicked on the delete, then it is already confirmed it. So if you look at this, no rows to show with that particular account name. So that's all guys. You can try selecting the different views, and also you can try to delete the second record or a third record by selecting the views. That will be your assignment. So if you have any questions or issues, please comment in the comment section. Also subscribe to this particular channel for getting more updates on the software testing and as well as the EasyRepro automation framework series. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Yeah, hi friends, this is Bakapa. In the last tutorial of EasyRepro automation framework series, we have discussed how to create the record and how to search the record, and also we have discussed how to delete the record. The topic for the today's session is, the first topic is we will discuss how to switch between the tabs, and the second topic is how to work with the subgrids, and the third topic is how to work with the quick create forms. So now I will navigate to the CRM application. So we will discuss about the UI scenario firstly, then we will jump into the Visual Studio and we'll start automating the scenario. So I will log in into this CRM application. I will go to the accounts entity. Then I will click on this new button. Then here I will enter the some entry details. Then we will click on the save. So this will save the record. After saving the record, so if you look at here, we have currently two tabs displayed. That first one is summary and second one is details. So what if I have to navigate to the different tabs? So we have to click on the related, then we can go to the different tabs as well, or different entities from this particular accounts entity. So what we will do in our case, after saving the record, we will click on this related. After that, we will go to the contacts. Then again, after selecting the contacts, so again there is a subgrid displayed and it is having all the different buttons for this particular subgrid. So what we will do next, we will click on the new contact again in the subgrid. Will perform the action. So this is nothing but a subgrid, and after clicking on the subgrid button, that is a new contact. So there is a pop-up opened, that's a new form opened, that is a quick create form. And here we will enter something in this last name field. So because this is a mandatory field, here we can input something, then we can click on the save and close. After saving and closing it, so that record will be displayed in the subgrid guys. So this is an end-to-end flow what we are going to automate it. So now I will go to the Visual Studio ID now. I will open the EasyRepro tutorial class. I'll go down. I will copy this last method, test method. I will rename this test method name to the EasyRepro test 5, and this test is belong to the testers talk group. So already we have a code which will create the record and which will search for the same record. And so we want till the creation of the record, and after creation of the record, what we have to do? So we have to click on the related, then we have to select the contacts, right? So we have to basically select the different tab here, right? So firstly we have to click on the related. So to click on the related, so till this it is very simple guys, it is very easy to understand this particular lines of code. It will log in into the application, then it goes to the accounts entity, then it clicks on the new, then it will enter some account name, then it will save the record. So till this you are familiar with, and now I have to click on the related, then we have to select the contacts from the related, right? So in the EasyRepro automation framework, we have a command called xrm dot grid dot select Sorry guys. So in the XRM app, so we have the entity, then dot select tab. So here you need to pass the name of the tab. So if tab name is visible directly like this summary or details, you can pass it directly. And if your tab name is inside this related, so you need to pass the firstly related, then the tab name. So let's do that. So firstly we have to navigate to the related, then after that we have to navigate to the contacts, right? So once you click on this related, contacts is visible, so that's the reason I am passing the contacts. So that's it. So this line will navigate to the contacts entity. So after navigating to the contacts entity, so there is a button displayed, that's a new contact what we have to click on. This is the subgrid guys. So that's the reason what we have to do is, so we have to use the XRM app object dot, so related grid, because we are performing action on the grid items, related grid dot. So here there's a method called click. So under this you need to specify the visible text. In our case, new contact. So simply I can pass the new contact here. That's it. After clicking on the new contact, so new form is displayed. That's a quick create form is displayed. So under quick create form, so we have to identify this last name field. So what I will do now, I will right click on this and I'll say inspect. So I'll go a bit up. If you see here, so this particular element is getting highlighted. From here you need to copy this particular value, that's the last name, from this div tag. So till this it goes to the contacts from the related, then it will click on the new contact. After clicking on the new contact, there is a quick create form is displayed. For that reason, to dealing with the quick create form, you need to use the XRM object dot. So here you need to call the quick create class. Then after that you need to, as usual, how you are setting the value for the text field. So similar method you can call here as well. So here you need to pass the field, then the value. So I will pass simply testers dog as a value. That's it. In the same form, in the quick create form itself, we have to click on the save and close. So for that reason, whenever we are in the simple entity, so we are using XRM entity dot save method. So similarly, we are in the quick create form. So that's the reason you need to use quick create form class. XRM app dot, so that's a class called quick create. Then here you can call the method name as save. So this will save the record. So that's it. So hardly we have written 4 lines of code guys here. So this will selects the different tab and it will clicks on the subgrid button, then it goes to the quick create form, then there we are entering some data here, and then finally we are saving it. So after that what I will do, simply I will reduce this think time now to the 4 seconds. So that's it. Let me delete all this stuff which is not needed. So let's execute this script now. So now browser got launched. We have logged in into the application now. Now it will select the CRM application. So now it is navigated to the accounts entity, then it is finding the new button. So it is clicked on the new button. Now it is entering the account name, then it is saving the record. After saving the record, it has to go to the related, then it is selected the contacts, then it is clicked on the new contact, and it is entering the last name, tester stock, then it is saving and closing the record. So that's it, guys. So you can uh, this is working fine if you go to this explorer, and this test is getting passed. So this is how you can work with the basically switching between the different tabs and working with the subgrid buttons, and also in the subgrid also there are multiple buttons, and the related also there will be some of the buttons of the entities which will be available for each of the entities. So and this is how you can work with the even create quick create forms as well. So basically the normally, so when you're performing action in the entity, so you will be using the XRM app.entity and followed by the whatever methods. But when you are dealing with the quick create forms, so you need to use the XRM app.quick create and followed by any of the methods. Based on the need, you can use it. So same you can try at your end, same scenarios, and also you can try to perform different cases as well. So if you are having any issues or the questions, you can comment in the comment section, and also subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Hey, hi friends, this is Bakappa. In this EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial series, I will discuss how to execute your script on different browsers. I will navigate to the Visual Studio IDE now. So suppose, for example, firstly I will discuss from which class actually the driver is getting invoked. So there is a class called driver factory. That means full name of that class is browser driver factory. You can open this class, and from this particular method, that means the create web driver, which will return the iWebDriver type basically at the end, right? If you look at line number 26, it is creating the Chrome driver, and in the line number 31 it is creating the iDriver. So based on the browser type, it is going to create and returns as the browser object basically. So for example, if you want to update the profile or a Chrome options or Firefox profile or Edge options, so you need to go to the this particular method, that's a to Chrome or to Internet Explorer. So similarly for other browser also, we have a method called to followed by the browser name. So you can navigate to that particular method. So I will show you with an example of Chrome browser. So where you can actually modify the profile if in case if you're interested to modify or add or delete the Chrome options. So I will go to this to Chrome method. So this is where we have included whenever browser is launched. So basically we will maximize it. So this is where we are passing the argument, and also it has to be launched in a incognito mode, private mode, right? So this is where we are specifying it. Similarly, you can add a number of arguments for the Chrome browser, that is for the to Chrome method. So similarly we have a methods for the different browsers. If you come down here, you can see to Internet Explorer and then to Firefox. So inside this particular method, you can specify the arguments whatever is required for your project. So if I come down, so here is the edge options. So here I have specified one is in private, that means our script will execute in private mode, and second one is the headless. So these are the two parameters we have passed on to the edge options. So that's all about the browser. So you can basically, whenever there is a need, you can come to this particular class and you can update it. So I will close this particular class now. So now let's discuss where you have to specify the browser name so that your script will execute on that particular browser. So you can go to this particular class, sorry, that is app.config, and here you can see the browser type as the one attribute for the parameter, right? So for this particular attribute, you need to specify the browser name. So currently we have specified the Edge as a browser name. So our script will execute on the Edge browser. So let's trigger one of the test right now, and which will execute on the Edge browser firstly. Then in the later we will execute our script on the Chrome browser as well. So if you look at on the left side, Microsoft Edge is being controlled by automated test software. So this is the one difference you can observe whenever you are executing your script in the different browser. This is the one difference, and the second difference is here you can see. So this is in private in the Edge browser. So whenever your script is getting executed on the Chrome browser, so here you will see it as a Chrome, and here you will see it as an incognito. So that's a simple script which will create a simple record, what we are going to execute now. So now we have logged into the application right now. Then it will go to the one of the entity, then it enters some data in one of the fields, and it will try to save the record. Basically here it will take few seconds of time to click on the new button, because already it has clicked on the contacts entity. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, here you go, it's got clicked on new, then it is navigated to the different tab as well, then it has entered birthday as a some date, then it is trying to click save the record. Here you go, it has got passed. So our script is working on the Edge browser. Now we will update this particular browser name as Chrome, so that our script will execute on the Chrome browser. Again, I'll go to the test explorer, and I will right click on this test, and I'll say run. If you see here, very small difference. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software, and right side you can see here it is incognito. This is a simple difference you can observe whenever you are running it in different browsers. So you can try to execute your script on the Firefox browser, and let me know if you have any issues while doing that. Now it will try to select that particular application, then CRM application it will select. So after login into the application, it will firstly refresh the page, then it will go to the required entity. Now it will click on new button, so it will take few seconds, because it might have found multiple elements, that means lots of elements, so that it has to navigate through each of the elements, and once it is found, it will click on that element. So this is a new form, then it is going to the details tab now, then it is going to enter the birthday, then it is trying to save the record. So that's it. So our test got passed, right? So this is how you can execute your script on the different browsers. If you are having any questions or any issues, please comment in the comment section. and also subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Hey, hi friends, this is Bakapa. So far I have discussed a lot of things on the EasyRepro automation framework. You can go to my GitHub repository here and you will get to know the content what I have got so far. So in this GitHub repository, you can go to the repository section, repositories. Then you can go to the EasyRepro automation framework. So here you will get the whole code of EasyRepro automation framework. And if you come down, here you will find the EasyRepro automation framework content. So far I have created 8 tutorials on the EasyRepro automation framework. So this is the 9th tutorial on EasyRepro automation framework. So today I'll be discussing about how to perform the data-driven testing in EasyRepro framework. So now I will navigate to the CRM application. First I will discuss the UI flow, then we will start automating the UI flow by using the data-driven approach. So this is a CRM application. I have logged in into the CRM application. That is our first step. Then after that I will navigate to the accounts entity. So here I will click on new, and after that I will enter some values in this account name. So I'll say just test. So this data we will be passing from the external data source. So after that, passing this test data, we will save the record. So this is our first scenario, and the second scenario is, so we will be having only one test case and we will be passing a multiple sets of test data. So that is nothing but our data driven framework. So let us automate the first scenario, that is first time we will pass the one set of test data. So that will be our one test case, and the second test case would be you will be passing the multiple sets of test data. Now I will move on to the Visual Studio IDE. So we'll start automating this particular flow now. So again I will go to the UCI folder here and I will open the EasyRepro tutorial class. So before I start automating this UI flow, so data-driven testing can be performed from in a different ways, especially. So you can pass the test data from the Excel file or JSON file or XML file, or even you can pass the test data from the databases also. So in the today's session, I will discuss about how to pass the test data from the XML file. So what I will do now, I will simply copy this test method, that is our EasyRepro test file, which we have discussed in the previous tutorial. Then I'll paste it here. I will say method name as EasyRepro data driven testing. So that's it. So I'm going to assign this particular test to the tester stop group. So that is nothing but we have used a test category attribute. So this particular test will be belonging to this particular group. So after that, so we will create the one XML file so that our test data can be kept in that particular file. So I will go to the Microsoft.Dynamics 365 UI automation.sample project. I will right click on that project and I'll say add. And here I am selecting the new item. On the right side top, I will say XML file because we are going to create the XML file here now. I will specify the XML file name as testdata.xml. Then I will say add. So here you go. So testdata.xml file got created. So inside the sample project, if you go down, so here you will be seeing the testdata.xml file. So it has already opened here, and so by default you will be seeing this particular tag, and you need to specify the XML tag, so that it is represented as the XML and followed by the tags. So I'll say XML tag. I'll specify the XML tag firstly. So inside this we will create the sample test data. So here I'm specifying the first tag name as test data and followed by, so here we are adding the test data in between the tags. So I'll say tag 1 and here I'll say testers talk as the first set of test data, right? So similarly you can add n number of tags inside the test data tag. So similarly you can create n number of tags inside that particular tag. You can specify your test data like this, tag 1 and tag 2, and you can specify it. So tag name can be anything, so it is not a reserved keywords. So as of now, so this test data is enough for us. So what we will do, simply we'll log in into the CRM application, then we will go to this accounts entity. So we will pass this account name as, firstly we will pass account name as tester stock, and here I'll provide different test data that's under that tag 2. So this is our first set of test data. So firstly we will execute our test case with this particular test data, and we will pass the another set of test data and for the same test case. So that scenario we will check it out a bit later. So this is all about creating our test data with the XML file. So now I will go to again our test method. So this is the test method what we have created, and so this will log into the application and it will goes to the accounts entity and it will click on new button. Then after going to the form, and it is going to enter the account name, right? So previously what we were doing, we were generating from the method that is a random string and we were passing on to the account name in the UI application. So this time we will read this particular, we'll read the test data from our XML file. So I will delete this part and we will pass this test data from our XML file. So that is our primary logic which is needed in this tutorial, right? So I will delete the rest of the stuffs which is not required. So that's it. So what you need to do is to perform the data-driven testing using the XML file. So you need to use the attribute called data source. So simply I'll copy this attribute and couple of parameters which is required for the data source attribute. So whenever you are performing the data-driven testing, so you need to use the attribute called data source, and the first parameter you need to pass it as the source of the data. That means in which format your test data exists. So in our case we have the test data in the format of XML, so that's the reason I have specified Microsoft.Visual Studio test tools.datasource.xml. So this is a constant value, you need to pass it. No need to change anything in this particular first parameter value. And the second parameter is you need to pass the file path. So in our case already we have created our testdata.xml file, right? So you need to get the path of that particular file. Right click on that file and you say copy full path and paste it here. So here you can specify 1 forward slash or 2 backslash. So I'm specifying 2 backslashes. After copying the file name, you need to add the one more backslash. So that's it. So we have added the source of test data. After that we have provided our test data file path, then the tag name we have to provide. Let's go to our test data.xml file. So our test data is there inside the test data tag. So that's the reason I will be providing the test data as a tag name in our test script, that is in our test method. So here I'm providing it as a test data. So if you have the different tag name, so this tag name is also the user defined one. So this is not the reserved keyword. So you can give the any name in this place, right? That is nothing but our tag name. Even for the subtags also, that is tag 1 or tag 2. So this is a user defined tag names. So again I will go to our test method. So now the part is we have already created a connection with this particular XML file, and also we have identified the data from where to pick this particular test data. So we need a mechanism so which will get the particular test data from this particular XML file. For example, if I wanted to read the test data of tag 1, how do I get this particular value? That is our tester stock, right? So for that reason, what you need to do is you need to define one reference variable, that is a public test context. So this is one of the abstract class you'll be using it in most of the testing automation frameworks for tracking to track the life cycle of the test method. For example, whenever the test is started for execution, so you'll be tracking for the pass or fail or skipped, or it can be ignored also sometimes. So in different frameworks, you'll be using this particular test context reference variable. So in our case also, we'll be using the test context reference variable. So simply I'll say get and set for that. So that's it. So by using this one, mainly you'll be reading the test results. It can be pass, fail, or even skipped. So similar way, we have specified our test data at the method level, right? So here also you can use the test context reference variable. By using that, you can read the test data from our XML file. So what I will do here, we are setting the value, that is our account name. Simply I'll use the test context dot reference variable dot, here I'll say data row. So inside this data row, you need to specify the tag name. So within the double quotes, you need to specify the tag name. So firstly, we will read the, firstly we'll read the tester stock. So I will be using the tag 1 as a tag name, and I'll paste it inside the square brackets. So that's it. And after that, I will convert this into the toString. That's it, guys. So our test method is ready now. So let me summarize what we have done so far. So firstly, we have discussed the UI scenario. So this UI scenario contains, we will log in into the application, then we will be going into the accounts entity, then we'll be entering the account name, then we will be saving the record. This is our scenario. And firstly, what I did, I have created one method called EasyRepro data driven testing method. So for this one, I have added the data source as attribute, and followed by I have specified the source of the test data and the path of our test data. Then I have specified the tag name. So after that, I have specified one more parameter called data access methods dot sequentially, so that it will read the one by one test data from our XML file. Then we have created already our test data. So we have created our XML file and we have defined our test data within the tags. So that's it. Coming to the scenario, we have logged in into the application, then we are navigating into the accounts entity, then we are clicking on the new button, then we are entering the test data from our XML file by using the context reference variable followed by the data row, and inside the data row we have specified the tag name. Then finally we are saving the record. So that's it, guys. It's very simple. Let's execute this scenario, then we will discuss how to pass the multiple sets of test data to the same method. That means a single method, we will be passing the multiple sets of test data. So basically this is nothing but data driven framework. So let me go to the test explorer. So if you look at this one, so it is slowly getting started the test method. So already it has opened application. If you look at here, so it is entering the username and password. So basically it is getting logged in into the application. Now it will select the CRM application. So after selecting the CRM application, it goes into the home page of the CRM application. So once it is navigated into the home page, so it will refresh the whole page so that all the objects will be loaded. So now it has clicked on the accounts. If you look at on the left side here, then now it will be identifying the new button. So it will take few seconds because it might have found lots of elements because it is using the generic XPath. It is not using the page object model concept. So it is clicked on the new button, then in the account name it is entered the tester stock, then it is saving the record. So we have kept some wait time 4 seconds, so it will wait for few seconds and it is closing the browser. So if you look at here, so it is our test is getting passed. So this is how you can perform your data driven testing. So let us discuss how to pass the multiple sets of test data to the single test case. I will go to the again test data.xml. I will simply copy the whole test data once again, right? So what I will do now, here I'll say tester stock, I'll say 1 and I'll say here 2. That's it. So I have modified little bit in the test data, that is a tag name one. So if you look at our tags, so tag names are same. So this should be your tag name, which you have to use it in your test case. And here I have basically specified the 2 sets of test data for the single tag name. So this is our first set of test data, and this is our second set of test data. Firstly, it will pass this particular value, that is a tester stock 1, and second time when execution started, it will pass the testers 2 as the value. So let's execute our script again. So it has to run 2 times. So again I will go to our test method. I will say run test. So you can try to perform the data driven testing in the you can try to perform the data driven testing by using Excel file as well. So it supports Excel file as well, and also it will support for the database also. So you can try those approaches and let me know if you are having any queries or any issues. So you can reach out to me or you can comment in the comment section so that I can respond to your queries. So if you look at our XML file, so all the things are same, including tag names. Only the data whatever we have specified inside the tags, we have modified it. So that is nothing but data driven framework or data driven testing. So it has logged in into the application and it is navigated to the home page of the CRM application. So also it has clicked on the accounts entity. It has clicked on the new button now. So it is going to enter the account name. So this is the first value, tester stock 1. That is the first scenario it is got executed. And again it is launched the browser. So now it is trying to pass the second sets of the test data. So now we have logged in into the application. Then it will navigate to the accounts entity basically. Then it will take few seconds time to identify the new button on the web page. So this time it will pass the test as talk2 as the value into the account name, and it will save the record, and finally it will close the browser. So it is very easy guys, so no need to write 100 lines of code to perform something. So everything EasyRepro automation framework will provide you, just you need to use that existing methods. If you look at the value testers name, it is a testers2. Sorry, testers talk2. So finally it is closed the browser, right? If I go to this test explorer and if I select the value, sorry, select the this particular test method, right? So this is a data row 0, right? So when first set of test data is passed, so this is a method got executed, and if you see the count here, total 2 passed. So this is the first set of test data when it passed, and it is got passed. Sorry, when from the XML we pass the first set of test data, so this is the method got executed, and when we pass the second set of test data, so this particular method got passed guys. So this is how you can perform your data driven testing in the EasyRepro automation framework.